of me. That's how it is for me. Now, again, you just keep using that process back and forth, because now she's sharing what she's making up and her own personal choice about her feelings. So now it's my job or his job to play that role. And eventually what happens with this mutual respect of trying to, really what you're trying to understand is what somebody makes up and what somebody feels about that makeup. What you're learning is your partner's fears, their inadequacies, where they feel rejected and where they feel powerless. And by really focusing on that model and funneling that down, eventually what happens is both people feel heard. They feel like, wow, because eventually you turn into, well, I didn't know that when I made requests, you felt rejected and that I was selfish. I never knew that. Thanks for telling me. So let's see if we can come up with a plan on how I ask for things or how often I ask for things so that we don't have this happen. So you actually get to a solution, okay? That's what we're all after here, is understanding each other. But the model we've all been taught through TV, everything else, our parents, is to fight over realities. And that's why divorce happens, because we're projecting our own insecurities and everything else onto somebody else. So remember, again, if you're listening, whether that's on iHeartRadio or Spreaker, if you have questions about anything in your life, call me on Skype, ask me anything you like, or right here on Facebook, type in a question. Is there a topic you want to talk about? Maybe you don't want to call me on Skype and be live on the air. Maybe you just wanted me to talk about a certain topic. So if that's you, let me know and I'll switch gears and address it. So we're just about to run out of time here for today, but let me summarize the confrontation model. The first thing is ask if now's an appropriate time to have the discussion. Second thing is share your observation. It's your reality, which doesn't mean it's true. It's just your observation. Then you share what you make up about that observation. Then you share how that you have chosen to feel about what you're making up about that observation. Then the final step, or not the final step, the next step is you can either ask for information or ask for your needs and wants. Like in that suit coat situation, what he could have done instead of asking for information is, in the future, would you be willing? And that's the key. Would you be willing? Instead of next time, do it this way. It's a request. If you're willing to, you don't have to. And the next time, if you're willing, would you be willing to hang the suit coats up for me? I'd really appreciate that. The final step in the confrontation model, and this is the most important, is celebrate their no. So if I made that request and she said, you know what? Yeah, I can't promise you that. There may be times where I just don't want to hang them up. And so I may throw them in the back of the car and they may get rumpled. So that's the best I can do. Well, I wouldn't be upset with that. See, most people in relationships, why? Can't you see how stupid that is? What I'd recognize is my spouse or partner just got real. Sometimes they're too busy to think about it. So now I get to decide, okay, she's telling me that there may be times she won't be able to do it. Well, now I get to choose. I'm risking every time I make a request for her to pick up my suit jackets, they may get destroyed. Okay, well, maybe I better find someone else to ask, right? That's the beauty of saying no. I actually have a choice. But see, we say yes, and then there's this big fight. We both get defensive and angry about it. Well, if we'd have just said no from the beginning, we'd never have this problem. So that's the power of saying no, is it creates true intimacy. Because remember that confrontation model. Remember how it just kept funneling down to both sides getting more and more vulnerable, sharing their makeups and their feelings and where they come from. And so that creates intimate connection. Whereas the way we've all been taught, where it's a reality argument, all we create is division. And eventually what happens is people stuff it. They don't address it. But it always keeps coming back up because there's no resolution. This model gives you that resolution. And that's how to go about it. So if you're having problems with your spouse or your partner, look at that confrontation model. If you'd like more information about it, too, just send me a private message, too, or get my book, because I mention it in the book as well. So, but I think I pretty much wrapped up how to say no and how to handle confrontation. I don't see any requests for any certain topics, so I think I'm going to wrap it up there for today before, getting into some other topic and not having time to finish it. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Hopefully you learned some tips on how to say no and how destructive saying yes is in a relationship. Also, you walked out with the ability with you and your spouse to handle confrontation better and find a way to create connection instead of division. Something else, as I always like to say, when we judge others and blame others and criticize others, the only reason we do that is because we're seeing ourselves. Usually what we're seeing is a part of ourselves that we do, either directly or indirectly, and we're one, not aware of it, or two, we're aware of it, yet we haven't forgiven ourselves for it. But people always forget that it works in the opposite too. You see, when you see greatness in others, all you're seeing is the best version of yourselves. And we spend most of our life, in the negative, feeling negative, seeing how imperfect we are. So I want you to remember that as you go out today and you see something great about somebody, remember you're just seeing you. Don't forget that. So if you're looking for more solutions in any part of your life, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's just under Kenny Weiss. I have tons of videos on different topics that can help you. If you have a topic, or email me, some topic that you'd like more information on, email me or send me a private message on Facebook. I'm happy to do a short little video for free and just post it on YouTube to help you. Another option to get help is pick up my book, Your Journey to Success. It's on all available it's in all available formats, from Audible to Kindle to paperback on Amazon. If you're looking for individual coaching, you can send me an email at kenny@coachkennyweiss.com, or something else. I've started something. Some people just can't afford to work with me or individually, or they don't have the time, or like me, they love group dynamics, learning as a group. If that's you, I've started something called the Greatness Movement. These are groups, and I do them personally. They're in person, locally, where we meet in the conference room of my office. I don't have any more than 10 people. I want it intimate and connecting. I also do them online for the people who listen to me out of state. So I have waiting lists for both of them. I'm just a member or two away from kicking off the next set of groups. So if that's something you want to join, it's only $79 a month. We meet once a month. If you'd like more information on that, again, just send me an email at kenny@coachkennyweiss.com. So I really appreciate everyone watching. Hope you ended up with some good tips that can help you. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out and ask any questions you like. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next week.
I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
Have a great day, everyone.
On Fire Radio.